Okay, everybody. So, welcome. My name is Ryan. I'm with the Harvey Historical Society, and I also do the Chicago Southland Politics group on Facebook. I also have my YouTube, Ryan's Gay Chicago. So, those are all places you can find me. And today we have a candidate running for Flossmoor 161 School Board. So, would you like to introduce yourself and just tell us or tell us what brought you to Flossmoor?
Yeah, so my name is Ashly Giddens, and I moved to Flossmoor shortly after law school. When I was wrapping up my last semester of law school, my husband and I decided to move to Flossmoor with our oldest child because we wanted to make sure that he lived in a community that was diverse and also supportive
Okay,
and value academics.
wonderful. Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yes.
And then you have kids in the district now, right?
Yes, so I
Okay.
have one in the district right now. He's in second grade. My youngest, he's in preschool. However, he will be in the district in the fall,
Oh,
this upcoming
wonderful.
fall.
Okay. And we had chatted a little bit before the video just to kind of get an overview of some of the issues in the district. What are your biggest passions as far as changes that you want to see?
Yeah, so there are a few changes right now. Unfortunately, the district is underperforming in math, English, and language arts. But I believe the district has the potential to thrive and make some changes and do better. And so, as part of that change, there are three things that I think are essential. The first one is improving our resources that are provided to teachers and making sure that every child also has the resources that they need for their individual capacity to thrive academically. The
Mm.
second thing is we need to essentially work on the safety measures. Right now, there are bullying issues at Parker. I would advocate for us making sure each child has the mental health resources they need so that they can know how to deal with conflict resolution and properly conduct themselves in class so they can focus and learn. And the last thing is we need more collaboration between the community and parents. Currently, we have switched to standards based grading. Kids no longer receive an A, a B, or a C. They instead will receive one, two, threes, or fours, with four being the highest and a one being the lowest. So parents are not learning that their child is receiving a one or two until the end of the quarter. I would support us having more dialogue and collaboration between the parents and the teachers so that parents can know throughout the quarter that their child is underperforming. And if they want to, they can consider getting their child tutoring or some type of extra resource that can help them bring their scores up to a three, which is saying that your child is meeting expectations.
Mm. So it sounds like it was a system that's well intentioned, but the implementation needs some work, or maybe it was a little rushed or something. So definitely you want to work on that. That's a big goal.
Yes.
Okay. And just so everyone knows, I did teach twice at Parker, one from '06 to '09, I believe, and then briefly from 2018 to 2019. So I'm well acquainted with the district and definitely want to see, um, good things happen. I publicly resigned in 2019. You could, if you search, you'll see my article, I think with my resignation letter or most of it on the HF Chronicle. And a big reason why I left was, as you said, the climate of bullying, not only for students, but for teachers. So teachers having a difficult time getting bullied and harassed by students, by certain parents, and basically administration, in my case and in others, but I can definitely best speak for myself, just not really getting any sort of support. So, if you have a minor behavior issue in class and you're trying to redirect or, correct the child, a parent would typically complain to administrator. The administrator would let's say, bring you in for a meeting, let the parent rant, swear, abuse the teacher, and the administrator would say, "Oh, we're so sorry. It's Mr. Samelsky's fault," and then typically the administrator would remove the consequence. So then the problem that I saw at Parker, I don't know if this is still happening, but it's a concern, is that then they would talk to their friends, and then they'd say, "Hey, I could do whatever I want, if you want to talk on your phone during class, or start a fight, it's fine. Just have your parent complain, and the administration won't do anything." And many teachers had complained about that at Parker for some years. Some parents, the turnover rate historically has been very high, and much more so than the elementary schools. So, I mean, that's always been an issue that's important for me to figure out, like, with a district that has so many more resources. Let's just say, for example, than Homewood 153 next door, so much more money. Yes, there are more kids at Parker than there are at James Hart. But why is the climate rated so much higher at James Hart than Parker when 161 has these fantastic resources? So, what are some things? Oh, I know you mentioned like the security guards. Now that was a little alarming. So I don't know if everyone knows that, but apparently they have more security guards now. Now when I was teaching there, that wasn't really a thing. I mean, there were some, but I mean, if they're increasing security guards as a way to make sure that the behavior problems are taken care of, I don't know. I don't know how you feel, but I brought up the idea of maybe having one-on-one aides for some of our students that are really struggling with behaviors, um, as well as like you mentioned, more mental health, like counselors and not everyone in Flossmoor might have a child that is coming from a two-parent home that's super
Yes.
supportive, right? So do you have what are some other ways maybe that we could support, especially our junior hires, because it's such a tough time.
Mhm.
They have the hormones raging. What are some other ways that we could support them to get them the help, not just to sweep the problems under the rug, but to really help these kids that are struggling, and they do disrupt class and it makes it really tough on the other students, on the teachers. What are some other things, that could be done maybe to help those kids that are just they really need extra help?
Yes, good question. I think a good thing for the school district to do is on the first day of school, have an orientation for kids with the expectations that are and are not allowed in the school district. And something that should not be allowed is fighting, and it should not be tolerated. And the kids should then be provided with resources and information on how to deal with conflicts. So that way, the first day of school, kids understand what is expected of them. And then as those issues arise, the schools need to sit down with the kids or those two particular students or what have you, however the number of people are who are having the issue, to really just help them understand, okay, well, maybe you all are like getting alone today. You need to apologize, stay away from each other today, and then tomorrow, let's start over fresh. It's my understanding from speaking with parents and doing listening tours, the school does not essentially deal with conflict as it arises. They kind of sweep things under the rug, which causes things to fester and grow and eventually leads to a fight. But if these issues are nipped in the bud as they arise, I think that we will have less bullying.
And what's the current cell phone policy at Parker?
The cell phone policy consists of the school taking the kids' cell phones as they enter the schools. So they have been able to get rid of that distraction by having the kids turn their phones in as they enter the
Has there
building.
still been, because when I taught high school, I remember this was at a different school, obviously, but there were issues with students starting fights and arguments on social media. Is that something that you heard from parents?
I have heard from parents that a lot of times the social media issues kind of happen at home after school when they have their cell phones. So you are
Mm,
correct.
right. I don't know if that's something that you'd be open to, maybe um, having more training or something for the students to help them to know how to deal with that, because it seems like from what I hear in most districts, that's often the start of a lot of fights.
Yes.
Is so and so said something on Facebook or Snapchat, and then like you said, even if they're taking the phones, which to me that sounds probably like a good policy,
Yes.
but it's still happening after school, and then they
Hmm.
come to school first thing in the morning, and oh no, you didn't say this on this site or whatever, and then and like you said, eventually, if you get a way to deal with the conflicts, then hopefully that will also help.
Yes.
Um, Another question. Yeah, I don't think they have an issue with overcrowding right now. I don't think that's an issue at Parker that I'm aware of. Um, how else, like if you did have teachers, like in my case when I had to leave because I said this, it was so overwhelming and my mental health was in a horrible state. But if you had teachers that were struggling in the district or parents that they felt like, look, we've talked to administration about this issue, or we've talked to teachers, admin, other parents, we're not sure where else to go. What's your policy? Like, I know the board isn't responsible for the day-to-day operations of the district,
Yes.
but are you willing to have people come to you? What how do you feel about that? If someone just is like, I'm so frustrated and I feel like no one in the district is listening.
Yes, I definitely would support the superintendent in regards to understanding the concerns from the school district and from the parents in the district. And also I would encourage him to maybe do a listening tour, maybe do a town hall so that parents can come and really express their concerns. So that way, as a superintendent, he can make sure everyone feels heard and supported.
And who's the superintendent currently?
Dr. Dana Smith.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes.
So, and then if let's say staff or parents or even students feel that the administration all the way up to the superintendent, they're just not getting the response they want or something.
Mm-hmm.
Are you open to having a dialogue with community members?
Yes, so currently there is a meeting once a quarter that is available for parents to attend where they can talk with the school board, with some members of the school board about their concerns. So essentially that format is already in place.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that meeting happens early in the day, early in the afternoon. It's around 3:30 to 4:30. So
Oh, okay.
with that, most parents
A
are
lot of
not
people are
home.
working.
Most
Yeah,
people are not home until 5 o'clock.
that's
So I would encourage the school district to essentially have that meeting at a time where parents are able to get
mm.
their kids home from school and dinner set up and they can attend that meeting.
And how often does the school board meet? Is it once a month?
So the school board meets every 2 weeks, but the meeting
Every
I'm
two.
talking about in
Okay,
particular, I think it's once a quarter.
once a quarter.
Yes.
Okay, and then you do have public comment available as well at the normal school
Yes.
board meetings if
Yes.
people want to come. Okay. I just wanted to throw that out there because I know for some, like I said, for some staff or students or parents, that might be a selling point for you is if they know that you or some of the other folks running would actually be available to talk
Yes.
to. So that's great. Anything with the elementaries? I haven't heard of any huge crises or anything that people were really upset about in the community. But have you anything to address relating to elementary schools?
Yes, essentially, as part of my platform, it will consist of helping the elementary schools. So our math scores are really low. So I will continue to, if I'm given the opportunity, to support the superintendent and give my feedback on things that could be done to improve those scores. I have a child right now who's in the district, so I have an understanding of the type of work he receives, the type of support the kids are receiving. So I have real information and real data that he can use to understand, okay, this is how we can actually help and best serve the kids.
And then, since this is again Flossmoor, very well funded, great history of the arts and language. I don't know if they still teach French. I hope so. They did have French and Spanish at the junior high. But what's your stance on the arts, having language at the junior high, uh, the extras that Holman and Flossmoor are known for? What is your stance on those?
I'm in full support of having extras as far as learning a second or third language. Those type of opportunities are very helpful. You never know where they will take you in life. You may decide to, you may actually get involved in learning a language and decide to study abroad, or you may be able to have a passion in a particular area in a particular language and decide to further that interest and become a translator one day. So I think that these are good opportunities for children because it can help them in the long run, professionally and personally.
And did they still? I'm assuming there's still a district choir program and string orchestra, things like
Yes,
that.
they
There.
have.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
good, good. So would you support expanding the arts or sort of keeping things the same, or do you have any thoughts or feelings on that, or adding something new?
Yes, currently, as I have seen the kids perform in the orchestra and in the band, it looks as if their district is doing a great job at that. However, as part of being on the board, if we were to learn from parents or from kids that they would like other opportunities, I would be in full support in regards to helping the superintendent with making sure those kids can make those dreams a reality. Yes.
Okay. No, wonderful. I think we covered most everything. I guess the other general question is in the past, 161 was sort of known as, like you said, sweeping things under the rug, a tendency to do that a little bit, sort of saying, oh, we don't have certain of these problems here. What do you think that the district can do to change that? So to remove the shame
Mhm.
of saying we do have children that are coming from homes where there's extreme neglect and abuse, and maybe they've experienced a lot of trauma. So saying there's no shame in that, but also making sure that the kids are getting what they need versus, like we said in the past, complaints or staff are saying, oh my goodness, like, we need more counselors or something.
Mhm.
We need to help these kids. What do you think is a way forward to sort of change that environment?
Yes, when I did my listening tours, one thing I learned from several parents that did from different schools in the district is a lot of times they will email the principal or the teacher or a different administrative person, and their emails go unanswered. So I would advocate for
Mm,
the school district having another channel, another means for there could be some collaboration between the parents in the school district, and that can consist of like that meeting I discussed that's once a quarter, maybe having that start at 5 o'clock, so that
mm-hmm,
those parents will know they have a forum they can go to and have their questions answered, because we are understanding. We know that the teachers and the administrators and the superintendent or the principal, what have you, they get busy. So we understand they may not respond to our emails,
mm,
or they may take a little more time because it's over. It's a lot of kids in the district, so we're understanding from
mm-hmm,
that standpoint. I just think they need a forum that they can go to as well, so they can know, okay, well, I know I can catch them here, or I can speak to someone here about this concern, and maybe
mm,
they can steer me in the right direction on how to help my child, because I think we are all in this together, and we all are here for the kids. So instead of it being a us against them, I think it should be us for. It should be a one Flossmoor or one school district, I want
mm.
Flossmoor School District, so that all the parents, the adults, and the kids are on the same page, and we can move forward and thrive and help the kids excel in life.
Excellent. Yeah, no, that sounds good. Um, my goodness, I had a question and I sort of lost my train of thought. Anything you want to leave us with? Any thoughts
Sure.
or?
Yes. So once again, I am running for the Flossmoor School District 161 School Board. I am a mother of, and I will have 2 kids in the district as of this upcoming fall. I am an attorney and I value education. I want to be a part of the change that this district needs so that our kids can thrive academically and personally. So I ask that you please vote for me on April the 1st, and I ask for your support. Thank you.
Oh, one more question. I remember.
Yes.
Are you running with the slate or on your own?
I am not running with the slate. I'm running on my own.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Ashly Giddens.
Excellent. And if
Yes.
anyone else wants to interview, like I said, the whole goal of these interviews and what I'm doing is to get people excited and involved in local politics. So I'm not, trying not to take sides. I mean, certainly, I won't lie if I hear some things that people want to do that I think sound great, but it's not, the goal is not to be partisan or to pick sides as much as it's just to get the word out, get people excited about voting. Early voting starts March 17th. I myself am running for District 152 School Board in Harvey. So we just really want to emphasize that if you're seeing things like on the federal level, on the state level, and you're feeling anxious, you're feeling frustrated, and you're like, oh, our society needs positive change. It's really hard to reach out and touch the federal or the state sometimes. But when you are involved locally, you run for something, or you can support someone who's running, or just go to meetings, or just ask questions. It's your tax money. These are all public entities. You can change a lot, and that goes a long way towards alleviating the depression and anxiety a lot of people are feeling right now. So you might not be able to touch federal politics, but locally, you actually have a lot of power. I'm sure
Yes.
you would agree with that. So,
Absolutely.
have you ever served on any other boards before? I forgot to ask that.
I am on the PTO board at Heather Hill Elementary School.
Ah,
So
okay.
yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, we thank our guests today, so thank you for being with us. And remember,
Thank
everybody,
you.
no matter who you vote for, get registered to vote and vote, vote, vote. We want to see high voter turnout. So thanks, everybody.
Bye.